My personal theory is, I believe that humans did not evolve from a group of monkeys living in East Africa. I truly believe that humans evolved from a group of lizards millions of years ago, somewhere in the Eurasian continent. Well, I'm going to say our direct descendants would have to be the velociraptor, because there's some very
Stop laughing,
strange
dingus.
coincidences. Well, strange coincidences, but I would like to say like scientific coincidences. If you look at the posture of a velociraptor and how the velociraptor used to hunch down and carry his arms, if you were to somehow just believe, like years and years later, that velociraptor walked up erect and more erect so it could see its prey above the ground, you can make a distinct connection between said velociraptor and said so-called Homo sapien of today. I also believe the facial structure of the velociraptor is quite similar to early man, most likely Homo erectus, as opposed to today's man, Homo sapien.
Professor Lewis,
Yeah?
what happened to the talons?
The talons, our talons, we didn't need them because we used to climb trees. Our ancestors, Velociraptor, used to climb trees to get at honey, to get at other animals. Not only was it a predator, which most scientists believe, like it used to run on ground, Velociraptors had a big brain. They could see animals in the trees, they could see honey, they could see, bees' nests, and they would go after it, so they would use their claws. After we came out of the trees, after we stopped using our claws as much, they just fell off, basically, if you want to go with that.
I believe it.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that are just too similar to be considered a coincidence. And some people might ask, what happened to all our scales and stuff?
Do you think some kind of global catastrophe caused the blood shift from cold-blooded to hot-blooded?
That is a good question, Liam. And what I believe is you might be onto something. Well, if you look at how most of our ancient ancestors died off and we still have all their bones, what Liam was bringing up is a great point. I believe at one point in time, maybe there was some sort of ice age or something that killed off a lot of the weaker dinosaurs or weaker ancestors. If you look at their blood going from cold to hot.
Now, so Lewis, what you're saying is that the Velociraptor was the strongest and the most proud of all dinosaurs.
Pretty much.
More
now,
than
Lewis,
T-Rex.
Lewis, would you like to draw us a diagram over here on the wall?
Yeah, so say this is...
Just keep it on that piece of paper.
Say this X represents Velociraptor. We can see Velociraptor's back hunching. His hands sticking out. His head protruding. Alright? His legs coming down here. This isn't anatomically correct, but we'll go with it. And you see the hunch here? You see the nose? You see the scales? All the scales? Alright, imagine this thing getting more upright as time goes on. Maybe a few thousand years, alright? Its head's coming up this way. It's curving. It's starting to curve, starting to get more human-like. The nose is shrinking. The nose is shrinking, and the hands are getting longer. Still not quite human, but still quite not animal. See this?
Not animal.
Yep.
Humans are animals.
Now, say another, I would say this was about, I don't know, millions of years ago. This is thousands
Thousands.
of years ago.
How many thousands?
I would say roughly anywhere between, let's say, 80,000 to 60,000 years ago. Now, what we can see is our scales, the weather is changing. There's a giant ice age going on. Our scales are falling off, and we're trading them for what we can see as fur. Our brain has to increase in size. We no longer needed the small brain of our dinosaur ancestors. You know, basically we would hunt, we would climb up trees, gather honey, get at the animals in the trees. We developed more sophisticated brains as time went on, hunting bigger, stronger, smarter game. I like to call this Homo dinosaur. Homo dino for short. Now, as time goes on even further, the Ice Age is happening. We've lost all our cold-bloodedness. We are now warm-blooded creatures.
Just warm.
Just warm.
Just warm.
Lukewarm.
No, we were lukewarm when we were Homo Dino.
We are larger than our ancestors. Much larger.
What?
With legs and muscles and a body.
They had a body and muscles too.
Our eyes go from being on the side so we can see all our surroundings, you know, see predators coming at us, to being right in front of us. We are now the apex predator.
We are Randy Orton.
With sharp teeth and claws. With lots of fur.
We descended from vipers.
No, we descended from the
Professor
Velociraptor.
Lewis,
Yep.
what caused the change from feathers and scales to hair and skin?
Basically the Ice Age. And during that time, that huge Ice Age, we didn't need the scales. We didn't need the feathers. We didn't need all that. We needed to be able to withstand the intense cold. We needed to be able to make sure we blended in with our environment. With all these pretty fucking feathers and, you know, all these scales would never have survived.
Would that be to suggest that if there was no Ice Age, we would still have the feathers and scales and be a race of magnificent bird people?
Yes, because without said Ice Age, there would be no need for us to evolve fur at all. We would still be a hybrid human, something like what I would say, not so much fur, but with scales, the Homo dino.
Now, can you give us a diagram of what we would look like if there had been no Ice Age?
Definitely. I would like to have a green marker. Does anybody have a green marker on them?
There should be a green marker right there.
one.
Oh, here we go. Alright. Hold on to this.
Yeah, definitely.
We would have magnificent feathers. Feathers coming out everywhere, protruding from the crowns of our head. Can I have red, please?
Yes. It's like a broski hairstyle. Woo woo woo.
The most colorful of the feathers, ancestors, well, dino humans with feathers would get more mates. We wouldn't want to have, you wouldn't want to have a dull set of feathers, alright? Our face would be bright red. Our eyes, can I see? On the side of our head. Our eyes would be something like this, I would say. One eyeball here to see this way, and one eyeball here to see that way. Our mouth would be it would be smaller, and we would have really long fangs. Something like that.
Professor Lewis, if I'm not mistaken, this was classified as Homo Chiquito.
Homo Chiquito, yes. It is one of the pseudo, like, it's like not really a science, but we can strongly say that this would probably be what we would look like if said Ice Age never happened.
A strong inference.
Yep.
There is science though. There's a theory.
Now we also have feathers coming down our chin, sort of like a beard, what we have today, but with feathers.
Okay.
And our body would have longer arms.
Looks like a fucking spider.
Oh, don't forget our peacock tail to attract mates.
And we would have
No, that's the head feathers. That's the head feathers are for.
No, we have to have other ways to attract mates as well.
Oh wow.
It is a beautiful creature indeed. Beautiful creature. Any more questions?
Continuing this trend, what will we look like in another couple thousand years?
In a few more thousand years, I see humans becoming dumber with smaller brains and having much larger bodies. That is basically where we're going from now on. Bigger bodies, less brain. Males will be less male than they are today. We won't need males in the future. Because what males do today is what we've done in the past. We don't need in,
So
in
we
the
become
present.
a whole set of group of asexual creatures.
Asexual creatures with no smaller brains and really big bodies.
How would we absorb water? Would it be through osmosis or would it be through regular drinking?
Are you inferring that we'll become an entire race of gelatin people?
No, he's going to become an entire race of cell people. Single-celled organisms with multicellular brains.
And we would reproduce asexually.
Yes, as I said, we would absorb water through osmosis, and
And that's what I believe in
Homo amoeba.
Homo amoeba. Like I said,
Can we have a drawing of this guy?
can I have a blue marker, please?
Fuck yeah.
Here we go.
This is what they're talking about, man.
This is the
Adolescents
future.
were so ahead of us, man. This, what the
that's our future. You are seeing a window to the future.
That is a scary ass future.
Get some green in there for the mitochondria all inside it.
Those are the powerhouse of the cell.
This is the one powerful cell.
That looks like a very scary chocolate chip cookie.
And there you have it, folks.
That's our future.
And from all of this, these three creatures, that time span, we have modern humans. There you go.
I love you.